So today I'm gonna make a roasted cauliflower potato soup, and we're gonna roast the vegetables in the oven so that it gives the soup a little bit more richer flavor rather than just pan frying the cauliflower. And we're gonna add some potatoes, some leeks. These are the big leeks that I just found at the grocery store. And they're kind of like a mild onion, along with a little bit of a regular onion. And we're gonna season it with dill weed and some chicken stock, of course. And it's gonna be a silky smooth, yummy soup. So I'm excited to show you. So the first thing we're gonna do is I took off all the green leaves and all the little end pieces. And then I'm just gonna cut them into little chunks. And then I'm gonna put them on the cookie sheet, and we're gonna drizzle oil and salt and pepper on them and roast them for about 45 minutes to an hour until they get golden. Next, we're gonna chop up the potatoes, and I just like to do them in, kind of thinner chunks, and then they can hold a little bit more of the oil and the salt when we put them on the cookie sheet. So we have that mixed in there, a little bit of the leek, because I think it just gives the vegetables a little bit more sweeter flavor when you roast them. So we'll do that. Put that all on there, kind of break them up a little bit. I like to do this just for regular vegetable dishes on Sundays when we have all the family here, and just roast a bunch of vegetables, sometimes 2 sheetfuls, because we have so many people that come here. And the vegetables are so delicious when you do them that way. I'm also gonna add a little bit of a regular onion to the mix because the leeks are sweeter than a regular onion, but I still love the flavor of the onion. And you could probably do this with different vegetables like zucchini and make it the highlight of the soup. But today we're just gonna do the cauliflower because that's what I had in my fridge that I needed to use up. So we'll cut these into little strips like that. And then we'll sprinkle those also on here. Now this is probably gonna be soup for 2 to 4 people because it's a small amount. It's just 1 head of it's not broccoli. What is it called? Cauliflower. Cauliflower. And if you find that you didn't cut any, small enough, you can make another cut in them just so that they're kind of evenly in size so they cook better. Then I'm just gonna pour some oil over them, and I'm gonna toss them. This is olive oil. Then I'll toss the veggies after I sprinkle some salt on there. And probably I will add my favorite seasoning, the beer can chicken by Weber. I seriously love this stuff. I use it way too much. As you can tell, it's almost empty. And then I'm just gonna toss the vegetables in the oil, and then we're gonna pop it in the oven at 400 degrees for about 30 minutes, maybe 45. It just depends on how fast your oven cooks to see that these things are kind of golden color. The cauliflower, the potatoes, the leeks, and the onions have been in the oven for about 45 minutes, but I think I'm gonna let them cook just a little bit longer to get the potatoes a little softer and flip them around a little bit, but they do have the golden color on some of it. It's gonna be yummy. Okay, so I just took the cauliflower and the potatoes, onions out of the oven, and things are nice and tender, and that's what you want, to be fork tender. Then we're gonna put it into the soup pot with the chicken broth. Okay, so I've got all the vegetables in there and the chicken broth, and I'm gonna let it come to a boil, and then I'll let it simmer for about 5 or 10 minutes. And then we will use the immersion blender and blend it all up and add a little cream, plus some. Because I didn't have any garlic on hand to roast with all my vegetables, I just added a little sprinkle of some garlic powder And I'm also gonna add just a little squeeze of lemon to bring out some more of the yummy flavor. A little sprinkle of the dill weed to give it some flavor too. So you can put any kind of seasoning that you like in your soups, but I like the dill with the cauliflower for a fresh flavor with the lemon. Okay, so now I'm going to use my immersion blender and blend up the soup. It's probably going to be a little loud, but I just want to show you how it works. Guys, I just tasted it. It is to die for. It's so good. So now I'm just going to add a little bit of cream. You don't need much. It's just to give it a little richness to it and stir it in. I love creamy soups. They're so good. I've been making them on and off for many years. And every time when it comes out delicious, I'm always like, why don't I do this more often? And then I'm going to show you how to serve it up. Okay, so I just grated a little cheddar cheese on the soup, and I'm going to top it with a little bit of bacon. Teeny bit right here. And then those little pieces of leftover, I always want to say broccoli, cauliflower, and there you darn go. You could add a little chopped green onion to go on there too to make it look pretty. So this is the soup. I hope you try it and let me know if you like it. It's so easy just to throw some vegetables in there. And to go with the soup tonight, I just threw together a little spinach, a little bit of the cutie oranges, craisins, some almonds, and then I like to use the Brianna's poppy seed dressing. This is a go-to salad for us all the time. We could do strawberries, raspberries, any kind of nuts. We've added pretzels, all kinds of things to the spinach salad, avocado. I mean, whatever you like. You can just make your little salad, your spinach salad any way you like to add to your soup. To make a creamy soup like this is so easy because you're just roasting the vegetables, adding it to chicken broth, and cooking it for a little bit longer after the vegetables are roasted. And then you are whirring it up. You could even use a blender instead of, if you don't have an immersion blender, and add some toppings, and it looks like, it was $1 million, even though it was just potatoes and cauliflower. Who knew? So hopefully you will enjoy this recipe. Delish?
You knew that would be really good. That's why you put me on camera.
That's right.